Welcome to Shripad Baba VMST lecture series on Shri Vishnu Sahitanam Stotram. In this session, our focus is to remain upon the source formulation, the first name of Lord Vishnu, Vishwa. Vishwa has a simple rendering word, this world of ours, this world of the solar universe, the view of the existence on the earth, this physical world, the world in its essential concrete format, the world as we view, the world as we designate as the physical world. This formulation is in the text as Vishwam. It is the functional format, and the formulation Vishwam is of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 letters composition. These 6 letters are accepting TC values 7, 2, 2, 7, 1 and 9, making summation value 28, and the formulation Vish is leading us to TC value 19. 19 and 9 make the value 28. So this functional format of 6 letters is leading us to value 28, and we know that 6 multiplied by 28 gives us the value 168, which is parallel to the range of 168 primes up till 1000. So values 1 to 1000 are having 168 vowel, 168 primes, and value 168 is accepting an organization 8 into 21, and 21 is accepting a value 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6, and the same is parallel to the format of a Sthapatya miring rod synthesized by hypercubes 1 to 6. Further, we know that 6 is the Surya Ank, the number of the sun, and 20 is the value of the formulation Brahm. 6 is the first perfect number, while 28 is the second perfect number. The reach here is from Surya to Brahm. Reach is from first perfect number to the second perfect number. Therefore, while appreciating the functional format of formulation Vishwam, then as it is availed, as it is put in the text, so Vishwam is the form. So it is the form which is taken as that the Brahman, eternity, enters and fulfills Surya, our solar universe, the entire existence phenomenon domain, and it is this fulfilling of the Vishwa by the eternity. It is going to be a flow from the origin, means from the 7th space, and fulfillment is of 6th space, which is of a creative dimensional frame of 4 dimensions. This makes the value 7 into 4 is equal to 28. As such, sadhakas fulfilled with intensity of urge to be face to face with the values features of the functional format of the first formulation Vish as the source formulation as Vishwam of value 28 is of appreciation that this eternity, Brahm, second perfect number values are to be fulfilled within the Surya, the first perfect number. Therefore, from this domain of 7 into 4, fulfillment is to be this, it is going to be 6 into 4. Therefore, it is this feature, and value 24 is the value of a Purusha. Therefore, human existence phenomena is to be of the eternity format in this Vishwam, in this Vishwa. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well. The three-space view of this functional format is a view of a Vishwa, and the formulation Vishwa, see that it is having value 19. Now here we see that this formulation Vishwa is a composition of a pair of syllables of values 9 and 10. We know that the range of 10 points is having 9 gaps. So the range of 10 points with its 9 gaps, therefore this range, which is of 10 points range with 9 gaps, now when this gets fulfilled, so when these gaps are bridged, so the bridging arrangement, format and organization of the range of 10 points of 9 gaps, making it a value 19. So Vishwa is the formulation, it is the word, it is the formulation which is of value 19, completely fulfilling the entire range of 9 gaps of the 10 values. Now this 10 values with the 9 gaps completely fulfilled, making it a complete structured range, and it is this range which is of value 19. Let us reach a step ahead and see now that 3 space as dimension will be leading us to 6 space as an origin. Now view of this Vishwa from 3 space as 3 space in the role of a dimension, leading us to 6 space as an origin, making it a hypercube of 5. Now we know that Akash is the 5th element. So Akash Tattva is the 5th Tattva. So this universe as our physical world, as a Vishwa, when is to be viewed in this space from the origin of a space, means from the Surya. Surya, the origin, 5 space as an Akash, as a domain within a creative boundary and of a solid dimensional order. When this Vishwa is going to be viewed from 6 space, that means from the Surya. So when we are viewing it from 6 space, it will be a view of our Vishwa in the Akash, means in a 5 space. Therefore 5 space as of a solid order is to be viewed, is being viewed, And this solid order view would mean from domain we will reach at dimension and then we will reach at dimension of dimension. It is this phenomenon of transcendence which is to be availed, which is to be worked out. And this phenomenon is a phenomenon of Rishi, seer, observer. Rishi is the formulation which is availing quadruple letters, triple letters of values 6, 4 and 2. It is this formulation of 6 space with transcendence within 6 space domain along a 4 space as dimension, and step ahead it would be a transcendence along a spatial dimension. So seer, Rishi, observes as a transcendence, and this is going to be transcendence within a domain, and transcendence within 6 space is going to be along its creative dimension, and at the next step it is going to be along the spatial dimension of the creators of space, playing the role of dimension of a 6 space. It means that we have to reach from domain to dimension of dimension. When we are viewing 6 space, means when we are viewing in terms of a transcendence phenomenon, and this transcendence phenomenon will take us from 2 space to its dimension 0 and 2 dimension minus 2, making it a product value 0. And the vowel, first vowel of value 1 will lead to its dimension as minus 1 and to its dimension as minus 3, making it a value 3. Therefore, the view of the Vishwa of this formulation from 6 space is to be the view of a transcendence within a domain, and the transcendence within domain with 2 space E, the second vowel, a dimensional frame, and of first vowel dimensional frame, it is going to lead a value 0, and the syllable with this consonant of value 7 together will lead us to total value of transcendence going to be 0. But the second syllable is leading us to a pair of consonants of values 2 plus 7 is 9, and the transcendence reach is of value 3, making it value 27. As such, the combined value of a transcendence is going to be 27. It is equal to 3 raised to power 3. See, when we are going to view Vishwa, our physical world, from 6 space, means from Surya, as per the transcendence of Surya values, 6 space domain values, within Akash, a 5th element, then it is to be viewed as per the transcendence flow. And this transcendence flow along the pair of dimensions, first vowel and the second vowel, this formulation as of a pair of syllables. So 6 space view is going to be a view of the organization of the syllables with transcendence within the vowels, within the dimensional frames. Therefore, this pair of syllables will lead us to value 27, which will take us to value 3 raised to power 3. As such, we shall have a pause here and take note that 6 space view of our physical world, a 3-dimensional setup world, is going to be of the dimensional frame, solid dimensional frame of triple dimensions. As 6 space is a creative order space, means as 4 space is playing the role of dimension of 6 space, and further 4 space itself being of a spatial dimensional order. Therefore, the three-dimensional frame will split into a pair of three-dimensional frames of half dimensions. And further, it is going to be the solid dimensions, as 5 space is having 3 space in the role of a dimension. Therefore, the 6 space view of the Vishwa is going to be of triple solid dimensions. Triple solid dimensions 1, 2 and 3, and these triple solid dimensions are a half because the three-dimensional frame is split into a pair of three-dimensional frames of half dimensions. One may have a pause here and have a fresh visit to cube, the representative regular body of a 3 space, and see that in each of the corner points is embedded a three-dimensional frame of half dimensions. It is this feature, it is this value, it is this format, it is this phenomenon of the split of a dimensional frame into a pair of dimensional frames of half dimensions which deserves to be comprehended well. One shall be face to face with this phenomenon of split of a dimensional frame into a pair of dimensional frames of half dimensions. It is this happening of our existence phenomenon which deserves to be comprehended well. For its comprehension, when we will be chasing this formulation as syllables, and when we will be viewing here, we will be observing the transcendence within the dimensional frames, and we will be reaching at value 3 raised to 3, which amounts to a setup of a three-dimensional frame of half solid dimensions. It is this feature which deserves to be comprehended well. It is only with comprehension of this feature that we will be face to face with the values, features, format of the Vedic systems which are being availed for the organization and chase of 6 space as formulations. A step ahead, we have seen that the 4 space is playing the role of dimension of 6 space. Therefore, the 4 space view is going to be a view of the chase of the Ganita Sutras. And Ganita Sutras, the source formulation Eka Adhike. This formulation is a formulation of 9 letters. And these 9 letters are accepting TCV values 6, Ka Brahma 4, A value 2, Dha is going to be value 7. And sequentially, we will be having the values. Now see this phenomenon as it is the phenomenon which is providing us a format of a 4 space. And value 4 is the value which is having unique features. 2 raised to power 2 is equal to 2 multiplied by 2 is equal to minus 2 multiplied by minus 2. It is not only the addition and multiplication which gets superimposed here, but the orientations as well get superimposed. It is this superimposition of the orientations which is uniquely available in 4 space, because of which there is going to be a split for a 3-dimensional frame of solid dimensions into a pair of 3-dimensional frames of solid dimensions as half in functional view. Therefore, the value 19, 6427 is the value, and this value 19 is the value of the formulation Vishwa. So, formulation Vishwa of value 19 is the value which is chased in 4 space as Eka Adhikane, and this formulation is leading us to at the 4th step at value 7 as the seer when somebody is transcending within 6 space then this transcendence within 6 space is going to be the transcendence to glimpse the origin. One transcends within the cavity of one's heart to be face to face with the seat, transcendental seat of the transcendental Lord as origin of a 4 space. The transcendence within 6 space is going to be a transcendence along the creative dimension, further along the dimension of a dimension, and this transcendence is to have a glimpse, to be face to face with a 7 space in the role of an origin. It is this glimpsing, it is this attainment of a glimpse of a 6 space, of its 7 space in the role of an origin, which is going to be a blissful state. It is this blissful state which is permissible because of the 4 space as the dimension of the 6 space. Therefore, the organization format of Vishnu Sahasranam Stotram is to be of 4 folds, and of these 4 folds will be the 4 roles of 4 space. And first is going to be that 4 space itself is the origin, 4 space is as dimension, 4 space is as domain, and 4 space is as a boundary. And each phase and stage itself, because of a 4 space having quadruple spatial dimensions, therefore this is going to be 4 phases. Therefore, this chase of the organization format of Vishnu Sahasranam Stotram is going to be an organization of 4 cross 4 grid of 4 stages of 4 phases each. And it is this feature which will bring us face to face with the value 19, and this value 19 in one way is going to be that 7 space as the origin of 6 space. When transcends out, it splits and makes 6 space as a pair of domains. Further, the reach at 5 space would mean that 6 space is having 7 space as an origin, and this pair of in the reverse orientation will providing us that -7 are synthesizing and making it value -5. One shall sit comfortably and permit the transcending mind to be face to face with this phenomenon of the role of a 7 space as origin of 6 space, which when transcends out, then it splits 6 space domain into a pair of domains. It is this split, because of the transcendence of an origin into pair of domains, is the phenomenon which is going to be the basic view. And for it we see that we are viewing 3 space from 6 space. We know 6 space is splitting into a pair of because of transcendence of a 7 space. We know 3 space is having 7 geometries range. Therefore, it will going to give us this feature, and we know the formulation sapt as such is this. It is this split which makes value 19 as it is going to be, then it is going to be the southern hemisphere. Therefore, split of a 3-dimensional frame into a pair of 3-dimensional frame with the origin being a creative 4 space in the role of origin, these becoming the solid dimensions. So this view as such will be leading us to value 19, and it is this value 19 which is of dimension 17, and the synthesis value is 18, and 18 we know is the value of hypercube of 5. Therefore, the 5 space view of 3 space is as a split into a pair of hemispheres and synthesis of a hemispheres. As the dimensional frame, the 3-dimensional frame is splitting into a pair of 3-dimensional frames, and this becoming the solid dimensions So the triple solid dimensions format as it is will be leading us to a split into hemispheres. It is this hemispheres organization which is a view of a 5 space from the Akash. So from this space, this view of value 19 of a southern hemisphere, and the in between we know is a three-dimensional frame, a solid dimensional frame, synthesized frame is there which makes 5 space. Therefore 5 space is value 3, 4, 5 and 6. So from value 19 we reach value 18 and sequentially we'll reach at value 7. So it is value 17 as of a northern hemisphere, value 18 as the center, and value 19 as of the southern hemisphere, and this value 18 is going to be a hypercube of 5, means of a 5 space, means an Akash Tattva. So the view of our universe as a world, as an earth, as an moon, as all whole range of planets and celestial bodies to have an organization as a synthetic setup of pair of hemispheres. It is this view of a 5 space which is because of the creative spatial order space, and then this phenomenon as it is for this formulation which with these all features makes this formulation as the source formulation. Now let us see the mathematics. The mathematics is Eka Adhike. We are starting from value 6, reaching at value 4, then reaching at value 2, and ultimately we are glimpsing value 7. It is this glimpse, and we know the Eka Adhik would mean 7, 8 and 9. It is this sequential Eka Adhik, one more than before. This is one more than before and two less than the before. This is this phenomenon which will help us appreciate that we are having now a chase like this. 7 minus 2 is 5, 7 minus 4 is 3, and 7 minus 6 is 1. See, these are the quadruple values of Antastha letters. As such, the Vedic mathematics is, as per the source formulation, Eka Adhik, is permitting us two-pronged. This is going to be transcendence within domain. It is a sequential reach. And from these values, 6, 4, 2, and 7, we have reached at 5, then 3, then 1. Now, further let us see. If we are here reaching at an origin, so we are actually 6, 4, 2, and then it is reaching at value 0. Here we had reached at 6, 7, 8 and 9. See, 9 minus 0 is going to be 9. This is the value, and 8 minus 2 is the value 6. See, 7 minus 4 is the value 3. It is this feature, and then 6 into minus 6 leads us to value 0, which is at this dimension of a dimension level is leading us to value 2, and this becomes the value of the Ushmana letters. One shall sit comfortably, one shall permit the transcending mind to be face to face with these values, features and formats of the formulation Vishwa, when it is to be viewed as a functional format of to a value 28, which is the value of a Brahm. And it would be blissful to take note that this enlightenment of Vishnu's 1000 names is by the Bhishma, and the formulation Bhisham is of value 28. Therefore, it is a phenomenon of eternity, Brahm, value 28, second perfect number, eternity flowing and fulfilling, Surya, 6, a first perfect number. This reach from second perfect number to the first perfect number is the attainment. It is the blissful, lively values reach of the formulation Vishwa when it is viewed as a functional format from 3 space, from 6 space, from 4 space, from 5 space, and ultimately as of Devanagari values as per the mathematics of Ganita Sutras. The source formulation Eka Adhik. One shall sit comfortably and reach this value Eka Adhikain, and in terms of it revisit the formulation Vish as a functional format Vishwa. From this phase and stage we shall be reaching at the flow from this source formulation, and we will reach at the second formulation, and sequentially we aim to reach up till the last 1000 self-referral designation name of Lord Vishnu. Thank you very much.